What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Members First Deck profile. This week, we're bringing you Pyramidimon. I think of the requests, I think it was for Justimon was the initial request, but I couldn't tell because it said Justin, and I didn't have, I wasn't sure what list to get, so I was like, all right, well, we'll just do Pyramidi. So if Justy was what you wanted, please let me know down below. I apologize if not, but there'll probably be a Justimon list on here eventually, let's be honest. Anyways, but yeah, Pyramidi is what we're going to be doing this week. Before I jump into it, just want to say thank you to all of our members and for your suggestions and for chiming in, for chirping, being part of the community, supporting us. We really appreciate it. And for the people that see this video when it goes public, thank you all for watching. Really much appreciate you. If you're brand new to the channel and seeing this for the first time, please consider maybe subscribing, sticking around, drop a like on the video if you enjoy the deck profile. And yeah, that's about it there. Pyramidi. I've been playing this deck for a while now. I really like it. I really like it a lot. It's there's a little bit of some tough stuff in the meta, but it's pretty cool. But so to start off, well, with the eggs, we run 4 copies of the brand new EX-08 Tumblemon. This egg's actually, it's goated. It's probably one of the best parts of the deck, where it's just sort of a generic effect, like a rules text, basically, where it's like when this card is trashed from Digivolution cards of a Digimon with Mineral or Rock trait, gain a memory. Really good. Really solid. We have ways of tucking this back in later with our Pyramidimon itself, and the extra memory just helps us climb up our line in case we need to try and be a little bit more memory efficient with our Evos. And we have ways of cycling it as well with our closes. So great card, great egg. It's the only egg you really will run for this deck because it's needed. It's mandatory. Moving on from that to our rookie lineup. Starting off, we run 4 copies of the EX-08 Gotsumon. So on deletion, by trashing 1 card with the Mineral or Rock trait in your hand, you draw 2. And then has blocker inheritable. So just really solid, just giving you that blocker inherit. It can be a really good rookie to just sort of push some early aggression with, if you hard slam it down. And it's you know, we like the cycle. It helps us set up our trash, and blocker inherit is good. Moving on from that, we move to 4 copies of EX-08 Tsunarizamon. I love my little reptile lizard boy. He also has a rule trait where he counts as mineral and type. He has on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You add 1 mineral or rock trait card and 1 card with Liberator trait among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. He's your generic searcher for the deck, just like every Liberator deck has like their like searcher for them. He is this one. And then his inheritable of 1 effects, trash this card from a mineral or rock trait Digimon's Digivolution cards. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. That's really good. That's really good because we can use that to actually pop things like Zudo Ace, Garuda Ace, like a lot of the level 5 aces are 4 cost. A lot of level 4s nowadays are also becoming 4 cost. You can even see in this list here, a lot of level 4s are 4 cost. So it actually comes up quite a lot more than you think it would be, especially with our other Digivolve abilities in this deck as well. Moving on from that, we run 2 copies of Gotsumon X Antibody. This one is more of a flex choice for me. I know not everybody's sold on this card. I personally like it, but I understand why people don't. Another option in place of this, which my good buddy Anthony, you've seen him on the channel before, he runs actually 2 copies of the BT7 Dorumon, who has the when a card is placed underneath this Digimon, you gain a memory. That card's also really good and is probably what I would swap this out for if I was going to swap this for anything. But anyways, has blocker generically. Your turn, this Digimon can't attack without Gotsumon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards. An opponent's turn once per turn, when attack targets change, one of your Digimon with blocker may unsuspend. So it can actually be really good because it can help you get like an extra block out of it. And then all turns, all of your Digimon with blocker get +1 KDP. It's a really nice inherit to have. The fact that it gives it to all of your Digimon all turns is really good. Especially, and it just helps us DP climb, which it can be a bit of a tough thing for this deck, which like it's really probably the hardest thing for this deck. Like, if this deck got DP a bit more freely, it'd probably be a lot more scary. But anyways, so... and then to round out our rookie lineup, 2 BT16 Uko. Just helps us set up extra Tumblemons in our trash early on. With early chips, extra search. A good way to start. You know, it's a great first turn play, just Uko for 1, right? So... Moving on from that to our level 4s, we run 4 copies of the brand new EX-08 Landramon, who has 1 Digivolving. If you have 1 of your Tamers, you may play 1 close from your hand without paying the cost. 1 effects, and then the inherit of 1, the same inherit as the Tsunariza has, where 1 effects trash this card from a mineral or rock trait Digimon's Digivolution cards. Delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 4 or less. So just your standard Tamer play Digi. It's just consistent. It's good. It's nice to be able to see this as much as possible to guarantee the more free closes, because the meta's so fast right now. You need to have that free Tamer play. So oftentimes it's like, if you can, like, if you're going second, even if you go first, like Uko, or like if you go second, if you can like Uko in the back and then play a rookie, like that's pretty good. And then like turn two, and then like in your next turn, like Evo into a Landra in the front, push up Uko, get your search, like just kind of set up a board state, like kind of push a wider board. It just helps you with generating advantage. Moving on from that, we run 2 copies of the EX-08 Golemon, who is on play and on deletion, not on play when digivolving. Because I thought it was when digivolving, and I have seen a couple of other people who also thought it was when digivolving, because we're all just so used to on play when digivolving now. It's become more of a standard thing with the card game. But anyways, on play on deletion, you de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. That's it. Blocker Inherit, really good. 2 cost Evo, 5 drop. Honestly, it can be really good against a lot of ace cards right now. If somebody's sitting on an ace, you can just hard send this for like 2, 1, maybe free sometimes, depending on the ace they're sitting on. And he's a good card. Strong, solid. And Blocker Inherit is nice. Being able to cycle more of that Inherit in, especially with our go-to X to give us the extra DP. And then rounding out our level 4s, we run 3 copies of the promo Landramon, who is start of your main phase and when digivolving by trashing 1 mineral rock trait from any of your Digimon's Digivolution cards. Reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, add 1 mineral and rock trait card to the hand, or place 1 such card as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Return the rest to top or bottom of deck. So just good search, good cycle. Lets you kind of get some of that early trash to either gain memory, so you can be like a 1-cost Evo if you trash Tumble, or can pop like a level 3 or an ace card or some level 4s on your opponent's side of the board if you trash like Suna Riza from your sources. And the fact that you can trash from any of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, it doesn't have to specifically be his, means that you can like pair this with like another stack you have going if you're just looking for a specific card you want to trash. Just good, solid, and we like the search and being able to just kind of add a card to hand or place one in your sources so you're ready for more things is nice. I run that at 3, by the way, because deck space is kind of tight, so I'm running 9 level 4s, which I would like to do like 4 and 4 of this and the Landra. I honestly maybe would do 4 and 4 of this and just like 1 Golemon. I'm still playtesting though. I'm still testing things around. So far, it's felt pretty okay for the most part. You saw a similar list to this that I played in the Me versus Rio video, the Pyramidimon versus Scotty video we had go up the other day. And this is an alternate version of that list after going back and working on it because I played 2 Tyrant matchups that day, and that was tough. So, the list still doesn't really help with Tyrant, but at least I have more ways of recurring against things with a lot of control. Moving on from that, though, level 5s, we run 2 copies of the PT4 Gogmamon, who has main Digiburst 1. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Digiburst is back. One of your Digimon gets +2 KDP until the end of your opponent's next turn, which is really good. This is like one of the earliest iterations of this type of like lingering effect that lasted till our opponent's turn, or through our opponent's turn, which is really nice. And then all turns inherit a +1K. So he's basically a +3 KDP buff as a level 5 if you do your whole like combo in the same turn with him. And it can also be really good because you can get some of those early source trashings to de-digivolve, gain memory, or pop things that play cost 4 or less. So it's really good. Moving on from that, we run 2 copies of the brand new EX-08 Gogmamon, who is blocker, and then on deletion, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 mineral or rock trait card with a play cost of 5 or less among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. So good trash setup. It can be just a good level 5 blocker to like to Evo up into early if you're worried about lots of early aggression and deletion effects. Can help you cycle another stack back out after it goes bye-bye, so you are not necessarily like losing a board state potentially. And then opponent's turn, once per turn for the inherit. When one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. Just good, just solid. We like to be able to redirect attacks, do what we need to do. It helps us save our blocker because we can do this and then block and unsuspend off a go-to X if we have it on board next to our Pyramidimon, for example. Then block again. It's good. It's solid. Moving on from that, rounding out our level 5s, we run 7 in this deck. We have 3 copies of Perganomon, who has Collision, Piercing, and Fragment 3. Fragment is a brand new keyword that specifically was made for this deck. Hopefully we'll see it in other iterations, but basically when this Digimon would be deleted, by trashing any 3 of its Digivolution cards, it isn't deleted. So, and that's by battle, by effect, yada yada. You could even technically do it if you were being DP reduced and get the trashing effects. I believe you can get the trashing effects because the card is being trashed, so that's all it needs to see is it being trashed. It doesn't need to see the Digimon still being on board, so you'll be able to get the trashing effects and do your thing. And then obviously it'll still go bye-bye because you're deleted by game mechanic, but it's cool. It's fun. And then has the inherit of 1 effects trash this card from a mineral or rock trait. Digimon's Digivolution cards. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. I forgot to say it earlier, but Landramon promo has the same inherit as this, basically. It just Digivolves when it gets trashed from sources. So, good card. He's really good for early aggression. You can really kind of, because with a collision, you can force people to block you and shred sources to hurt them, or you just maybe get some early piercing, which can be good in tangent with your Pyramidimon and what it can do. So, just early checks to help push your aggression for the OTK is nice. And then, we run 8 level 5s in this deck. I forgot that I have my 1 copy of Cyberdramon Ace in here still, who is just on play when Digivolving. Reveal top 5 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Black Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying the cost. And then return the rest to the top or bottom of the deck. Keep in mind, so you can kind of stack your deck in a ways you need it to be stacked. If you like the cards that are coming up, you just weren't able to play them. Then if you have a Tamer, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Digivolve is really strong still. There's only a few things in the game that really have protections from it, outside of like, they're like generic, like all protections from like Digimon effects or opponent's effects in general, yada yada. And then also it has the inherit of 1 attacking once per turn. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. We don't have many aces with inherits. We're gonna get those with the other half of BT19 and 2.5 when we get a lot more of those. Right now, I think we only have this and Megidramon Ace. I don't think there's any others. If I'm wrong, someone will tell me down below, but it's powerful. It's good. It's, Digivolve one when attacking can help dismantle ace plays on your opponent's side of the board, so it's nice. That rounds out our level 5s. Moving on to level 6s, we run 4 copies of the brand new boss monster himself, Pyramidimon. I love this guy. His design is so friggin' cool. It's awesome. It's sick. He has Fragment 3, so same thing as Pagano, where, when he would be deleted, you can trash 3 sources. Isn't deleted. Has 1 Digivolving, 1 attacking, not once per turn. By trashing any 3 Digivolution cards with the mineral or rock trait from your Digimon, this Digimon unsuspends and gains secure attack +1 for the turn. Keep in mind, trait from your Digimon, so it doesn't have to be specifically him. You can trash sources from anywhere when you Digivolve. As long as you hit that 3 quota, you'll unsuspend and do things. And you'll gain sec +1, which is really good. So that's kind of like how the idea, like you can swing early with Pagano, Evo into this, trash 3 sources from wherever you need to trash it. It'll usually only probably be the 1 stack realistically, but trash 3 sources, unsuspend, gain sec +1. You can swing when attacking, do it again, unsuspend, gain sec +1 again. The sec +1 keeps stacking, by the way. So that's how this deck kind of OTKs. Like your first check will probably be like 2 checks with him, and then you go 3, then 4, etc. It just sort of like snowballs. And then end of your turn, once per turn, you may place up to 3 cards with the mineral or rock trait from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, which is just good. It helps us just recur our sources that we are, actively trashing with our swings and evoing. If we need a fragment, we can recur them as well. It helps us kind of keep snowballing and setting up. And if your opponent's not able to answer him, you can just sit there and just kind of keep letting sources stack until you're if you don't want to like swing into security, right? Like, let's say you're playing against like Red Hybrid, for example. It's a deck that often you don't really want to chip into because you don't want to set them up with extra tamers or memory or resources because they can just be so explosive. If you want to just wait and they're struggling to like find an answer to you, you can just sit there and just keep tucking sources, or if you have enough sources in trash to keep tucking, of course, and then just do your thing, just go crazy. And then rounding out our level 6s, we run 1 copy of Shadow Seraphi Ace just for the surprise, the little shocker. In case we're sitting on a Gogma, we weren't able to like evo up into Pyramidi or something like that. We weren't finding it. Shadow Seraphi Ace is just a good card, blocker, on play on evo, Digivolve 3, 1 opponent's Digimon, and then all turns when something is when attack targets change, you just give -5k to something, which can be good. It's really, really good. So that's it for Digimon lineup. Moving on from that. We run 3 copies of the EX-08 close, who is a memory setter, and then your turn when any of your Digimon Digivolve into a mineral or rock trait Digimon. By suspending this tamer, you can place up to 2 cards with the mineral or rock trait from your trash as that Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. So she's really, really good at just helping you just build your stack really fast. I've honestly thought about putting her back to 4 because she's not bad at 4. She nets you 2 sources on Evo, which is really, really good. You can very easily build up a very powerful stack with that very quickly. And then obviously having a mem setter to kind of guarantee your lineup, because a lot of times you can just Evo into a 5 in the back. You don't have to Evo a 5 out in front. You can Evo 5 in the back in this deck very easily. You can be very kind of like Melga or even like Fenry style with it, where you kind of just chill Well, I guess old Fenry. New Fenry likes to evo into just from a rookie all the way up, but old Fenry like to kind of go Sul Lugar on the back and then push up and do things. I guess you could still do it with it. Anyways, I'm getting lost in the sauce, but point is, you don't have to build in the front. You can build in the back and then push out when it's time to do your thing. So she's a good card. And then moving on, we run 4 copies of the promo close. I run 4 of this because it's just more guaranteed, just plus memory. There's no like cap on it, right? Like with the mem setter. So start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. Nice, generic, we love it. That's Bandai's new bread and butter for a lot of these 3-drop Tamers that do something for an archetype. And then all turns, when effects, and keep in mind it's all turns. When effects trash Digivolution cards of any of your mineral or rock trait Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, place 1 card with the mineral or rock trait from your trash as any of those Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. So you can very easily just, you know, tap her, slot a source. Like, let's say you like Evo into Gogma, you Gogma main, Digiburst, burn the Tumble, gain a memory, so it's a 2-cost Evo. You can tap close, tuck the Tumble back in. Like, it's really, really nice for just cycling the sources. And the more of her you get on the board, the more you can tuck in, obviously, which is really good. It's solid. It's just a good card. Moving on from Tamers, onto options here, rounding out our list. We run 3 copies of Zofer Caboose. I don't know how you say it. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I have no idea. This is basically our in-archetype Zubagon Punch. So, main by trashing any 1 Digivolution card of one of your Digimon with the Mineral or Rock trait. Until the end of your opponent's turn, that Digimon gains Collision, Piercing, and Reboot. Your opponent's effects can't return it to hand or Dex, which is very important. And he gets plus 3 KDP. So there's a lot of bounce effects right now, right? Like, we have stuff in, like, Galaxy that runs a lot of bounce things. We have stuff like Tyrant who can bounce stuff. You know, like, we have bounce effects that are kind of going around at the moment. So Zofer can help us stay safe from those bounce effects, which is really good. On top of giving us the extra DP boost that we need to survive the security checks, because oftentimes your biggest threat is when you're swinging into security, and if you just hit another 12k body, you kind of tough. Because if you notice, you don't have that many DP boost inheritables. You know, you have 2 off the Gogma, you have 2 off the Go-To X, which is a conditional one if you have to have blocker for it. You can technically get a little bit more off Gogma if you do the whole combo in 1 big turn, but that's really about it, right? So oftentimes just at base, you're sitting at like 12, maybe 13, which is not enough to OTK in this game right now with how many big bodies there are nowadays. So Zofer helps us hit that 15 to 16 threshold very easily. It can oftentimes be a 1-cost option because you can pitch Tumblemon off of its effect when you play it. So it becomes a 1-cost. It's just good. It's solid. And then being able to just get Reboot, Collision, Piercing, and if you have Blocker and then stack already, it's just really nice, especially with the protections this offers and the fragment protections that you have. So we run that at 3 of, and then out of security, it deletes one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, so it gives you a little bit of a security bomb with it, which is nice. It's really, really good. I wish it would add to hand as well, but we can't have everything, right? You know, they're weirdly, like, I think they're very scared about making Liberator decks too strong. I hope that they would, to be honest. I would like to see Liberator decks be like more prevalent in the meta right now, because we don't really have, they're just not. It's really just a lot of the older decks right now, and I don't know if that really changes with 2.5 for us. We'll have to see how BT20 is, but even BT20, I don't think any of like the Liberator stuff, I don't even know what Liberator stuff is in there. I don't remember. Anyways, but I don't know if it really changes the game for us all too much, unless I'm forgetting something very obvious, which I probably am, and I'll get yelled at about it, but that's fine. We're in 2 copies of Black Scramble. Brand new promo option stuff. Well, brand new for us. It's so good. It's just cracked. Being able to just recur a board state when you get cleared. Stack your deck for a specific card that you might be missing. Evo for a reduced cost. It's just really good. And then just out of security just helps you recur a board state as well. And adds to hand. Just good. Just phenomenal card. Really, really nice. We love to see it. And then we run... also, something too you can do with this, you can like play this for 2, Evo into Gogwamon on Evo, Digiburst 1, spit out Tumble. It's a 1-cost level 5 Evo, so it's like you're using a training, pretty much. And then you get the Scramble on board because of it, and you could potentially, like, I don't know, like, use promo close, tuck in the Tumblemon back in, or if you use ST close and tuck something back in because you're Digivolving, so just little text for you. Anyways, moving on from that, 1 copy of Black Memory Boost. Just, you know, sometimes it's nice to have the raw memory rather than just the cost reduction, so I run 1 of it. It can also just be a deeper search in case we need to just dig a little bit further into our deck for a card. You know, I've thought about trying to find space for it to be more, but it's honestly, deck space with this is kind of tight because you kind of really need all your close Tamers to really kind of see your stuff, and you need Zofer to do things. So then, like, you're kind of stuck splitting weirdly, and I was at 1 Scramble before, but I felt like I wasn't seeing it, and now, like, any deck I play, I feel like 1 Scramble is not enough. I feel like I need 2 in every deck if I'm running it. So, you know, just one memory boost just for the sake, just for having it. You don't always need to have it, so you could just do 4 trainings if you wanted to. You don't have to do this. I just personal preference thing. And then 3 copies of defense training, which, you know, we know what trainings do. Top 2, get some search. You can reduce evo cost off of the off of its effect. So, but yeah, that's the list. That's everything there. Good matchups, bad matchups. The deck can honestly steamroll. It can high roll really, really powerfully. And the build I have going here is a little bit more sort of control-y with some of its options with the ace engines we have. The source strip abilities that it has can play very much like a control deck while being able to OTK at the same time if you just roll high enough. It does struggle to DP climb because oftentimes you just short the memory to do it, or if you just don't have enough Zophyr in hand to do it, it's just tough. You don't gain any like extra really DP off of evoing outside of Gogma, so it's very, very hard to build up a very big stack. So you're always kind of like in a bit of a space of delicateness. It can make things like Tyrant, for example, very hard to deal with because you're just all Digimon effects, so you can't touch it. You're never going to swing over it because you can rarely climb over 16k, and they get there for free half the time, just off their inheritance. It's not including things like Metal Life Kawaga and stuff like that, just giving them +3 for free off of, you know, just suspending anything on the board. Doesn't even have to be themselves. So, you know, you get the idea that can be tough. Same idea with like how like, you know, it can be this little bit too with Digimon effects and whatnot, unless you're like passing turn when you're doing things, but you're oftentimes you don't really have many Digimon effects controlling stuff. You're really kind of just like swinging over or through things or forcing things to block you early, but if your opponent builds a big enough stack early enough, it could be really hard for you. But yeah, that's about it for bad matchups. Good matchups are really just any decks that take a little bit of time to set up. They don't build like huge, like massive bodies that redirect you or stop you. You have a pretty good matchup into decks that are based on deletion and not just like DP reduction or digivolving or bouncing and stuff like that. You can really get around that pretty well. But that's about it there. There's not really too many other tech choices I can think of. Really, level 6 lineup for like, you need to be like so... The level 6 lineup for this deck is hard because you need to be so in archetype for everything, because you need to see as many rock and mineral trait cards as you can to consistently get your effects, to consistently have your inheritables, to be able to actually do your own suspense and everything. So you can't really like split too far into like other like feel good black cards that are just like generically powerful for the color itself. But you know, it's fun. It does some things. It will hopefully get more support, since Close was like, you know, like in the comics was like working with Shoto and other people. Like she seems to be pretty prevalent enough as a character. She seems to have like other people related to things as well. She was like a sibling of somebody who seems to be in maybe a bit more of a pivotal character. So hopefully we'll get more Pyramidi support. It definitely could really just DP boosting is really what it needs. It needs DP boosting more than anything else, I think. If it gets that, then I think we're in a pretty good spot because we can climb over a lot of things and do the damage we want to do. So, but we'll see what happens. Until then, that's going to be my deck list. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and consider subscribing if you want to see more Digimon content that we work on. We work on daily uploads for y'all and try and you know, have a good time with everybody. And that's going to be me, the bald man with the plan, out. Bye-bye.